2019 Peugeot Traveller MPV Review. The Peugeot Traveller can be an 8-seater van-based MPV which will appeal to taxi operators and big families. It's considered one of a select gang of vehicles that will carry 8 people. Its principal rivals include the Ford Tourneo Custom, Volkswagen Caravelle and Mercedes-Benz V-Class. Like its rivals, it is going to accommodate the motive force, plus 7 passengers. Other than in terms of manufacturer shop price and repayments, the Peugeot cost less than its Ford and Volkswagen rivals. Peugeot also promises that the expert van-based MPV costs less to perform, thanks to its efficient Blue Eddy diesels. The most efficient Euro 6 1.6-litre models average 55.4 miles per gallon on official fuel test, and emit 133 grams/km of CO2. Active and aluminum levels, plus 3 engines. The model range is simple when it comes to trim levels. You obtain the entry-level active version, or its plush or sister. Even the starter Traveller is well equipped considering its van origins, so you have climate control, parking sensors and cruise control. There are 5 diesel engine options to select from, ranging in power between 95 to 180 horsepower. The full lineup seems like this: 1.6-litre Blue Eddy 95 horsepower, 5-speed manual, 144 grams/km. 1.6-litre Blue Eddy 95 horsepower S&S, X6 Auto, 135 grams/km. 1.6-litre Blue Eddy 115 horsepower S&S, 6-speed manual, 133 grams/km, above. 2.0-litre Blue Eddy 150 horsepower S&S, 6-speed manual, 139 grams/km. 2.0-litre Blue Eddy 180 horsepower S&S, E6 Auto, 151 grams/km. Peugeot Traveller 1.6-litre Blue HDI driving. The smaller in the 2 diesel engines can be purchased in 2 states of tune. Both push out competitive amounts of torque, 210 Nm, however its 115 horsepower version could be the one you'll need if you're doing a lot of miles and regularly carrying passengers. Although the 0 to 62 miles per hour period of 13.4 seconds and 98 miles per hour maximum speed wouldn't seem to set the global light, on the highway, the Traveller just isn't lacking in performance. It accelerates smartly, and is particularly refined over the rev range. Does not do it feel stressed, regardless if climbing steep hills. You need change gear or great keep it flowing swiftly. But the 6-speed manual gearbox is light and reasonably slick utilized, and you'll not find changing between gears a chore. Peugeot Traveller 2.0-litre Blue HDI driving. Just like its smaller sibling, both the .0-litre includes 2 power outputs, 150 and 180 horsepower. There's a lot of pulling power on offer, with 370 and 400 Nm, respectively, to try out with, and unless you're coping with the Alps and fully laden, neither will struggle. If you wish an automatic while using larger engine, you will need to choose the 6-speed automatic version. In reality, few drivers will manage to benefit from choosing the 180 horsepower derivative. Like the 1.6-litre version, performance isn't essential, but neither will it feel lacking. The claimed 0 to 62 miles per hour times for both the 150 horsepower and 180 horsepower versions are 11.0 seconds, even though the maximum speed furthermore, it identical at 106 miles per hour, it doesn't drive a whole lot of like a van. Let's well here, it's highly unlikely that handling is going to be high on the listing of your priorities when contemplating buying a Traveller. But equally, drivers now demand all vehicles to get easy drive an automobile, and efficient at going around corners without getting scary. And on that score, the Traveller passes muster. It is simple to drive, though, with great all-round visibility due to that high-set driving position, slim pillars and acres of glass. The steering is light, albeit low-geared and with a lack of feel, so that you will have to twirl your arms an affordable bit in tighter turns. But it's simple to place traveling, feels solid and secure, and despite being almost 5 meters long it feels nice and maneuverable in tighter spaces. Even the turning circle is tight, although, at 4 turns from lock to lock, you'll think it is a cumbersome process learning. Inside the Traveller. Again, it's about expectations. If you're expecting the Traveller to become more as being a more car-based MPV, in the driver's seat, then you're going for being disappointed. The driving position is incredibly upright. In case you're in certainly one of the cheaper models, your front seat passenger will likely be treated towards the joys of any 2-seat bench. In short, it can do little to conceal its commercial vehicle origins. Search used Peugeot MPVs on the market. But with that said, it's hundreds of miles clear of vans of old. It might not be overburdened with soft-touch plastics to die cuss of, though the dash design echoes that relating to other previous generation cars. The design looks cohesive, the dashboard an easy task to watch, as well as the controls logically arranged if you're familiar with all the PSA method of laying things out, the column-mounted cruise controllers being a good example. Creature comforts and generous equipment. The touchscreen infotainment system is undoubtedly an older system, but works reasonably well once you've worked on your path around it. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and MirrorLink are common there, and essentially render the conventional sat-nav you obtain in the more luxurious models obsolete. The Traveller can be a people carrier, so it's unsurprising that it's been set up for comfort. The ride quality is fantastic, and yes, it's particularly proficient at ironing out irregularities on rougher roads. Engine and wind noise within 1.6 and a couple .0-liter forms are kept well under control, while road noise is minimal, even on larger 17-inch wheels. Petrol-only engine range. 3.0 1.0i turbo an excellent all-rounder. Least powerful 1.2i is lackluster. As a city-focused car, Vauxhall Adam performance centers on usability as opposed to all-out top speed or acceleration. Looking at the exclusively petrol-fueled powerplant lineup. Quintet of petrol engines. Least powerful from the engines would be the 1.2i, a 4-cylinder motor producing just 70 horsepower and 115 Nm of torque from 4,000 revolutions per minute. That means so as to extract its performance you'll have to work the rather notchy 5-speed manual gearbox quite hard, with scant reward. Top speed is merely 103 miles per hour. Even though the 0 to 62 miles per hour benchmark takes 14.9 seconds. Opt with the slightly punchier 1.4i with 87 horsepower and 130 Nm of torque, again from 4,000 revolutions per minute, and also the Adam somewhat sprightlier using a top speed of 109 miles per hour plus a 0 to 62 miles per hour period of 12.5 seconds. An Easytronic automatic transmission can be purchased in lieu from the manual box with identical performance figures. There's a fuel-saving EcoFlex package accessible for that engine that affects its performance, whilst the top speed increases to 111 miles per hour. The 0 to 62 miles per hour time increases to 13.9 seconds. Topping the non-turbo range could be the 100 horsepower version in the 1.4i. Although its torque output is identical towards the less powerful version. The result is really a modest performance jump using a top speed of 115 miles per hour complemented by an 11.5 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time. Things are better with all the forced induction motors, the initial being the 3-cylinder 1.0i turbo. It delivers a peppy 115 horsepower and 170 Nm of torque coming from a much lower 1,800 revolutions per minute, thus making this much more flexible and pleasing driving automobile. Its 6-speed manual gearbox is surely an improvement, too. It'll reach 121 miles per hour and cracks the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in 9.9 seconds. Fastest from the Adam range will be the S, the only real model available together with the 1.4i turbo, which is of indifferent design towards the non-turbo 1.4i models. It delivers 150 horsepower, so it's a warm hatch as an alternative to a hot someone to rival the quicker Audi A1S and mini hatches, though 220 Newton-meters of torque from 2,750 revolutions per minute. That's sufficient for the 130 miles per hour top speed as well as an 8.5 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time. Light steering is usually a bonus out, but it restricts the fun when from the jaw horse. Sportier S produces a slightly better fist of things. Rivals like the Mini hatch plus the Audi A1 are better and even more engaging to push than the Vauxhall Adam. Even although large tastes city-centric buyers will enjoy the light steering, the possible lack of feedback takes all of the sense of enjoyment far away from keener drivers. Through the corners there is little change or no lean when driving enthusiastically, but thanks towards the lack of information in the steering there is a constant feel truly at one while using car. Cars specified with 17 or 18-inch trims come having a sport chassis as standard and is also meant to provide car crisper steering. Unfortunately, all it gets is really a firmer ride in lieu of sweeter handling, so expect to get jolted about more. Vauxhall has engineered the Adam, which has a UK-specific steering system which has been tuned for much more twisty, lumpy British roads. In truth, you'd be hard-pressed to share with, such would be the vagueness of that communication with the trucker. Things are slightly better while using Adam S. That's much better to hustle around. Nevertheless, that deficiency of feedback prevents it from truly sating the trucker in the manner a rather larger Fiesta ST does. Small cars needs to be as much fun to push as they are to see, however the Adam simply isn't. Decent quality materials and construction. Personalization helps it be garish, though. Doesn't feel as upmarket as Audi A1 Mini. The interior on the Vauxhall Adam is really a pleasant place. Stick to your less gaudy trims and also the car is all too easy to live with. There won't be garish colors or in-your-face graphics as standard. It borrows much of that switchgear through the larger Corsa and Astra, and this also is no very bad thing. All the controls are common, easily accessed and relatively intuitive, while a great driving position is simple to find. It fails to get results of an Audi A1 or Mini hatch with regard to outright quality, but it really is noticeably a lot better than a Fiat 500, with squidgier plastics and also a greater sense robustness. Lacks the comfort of the company's key rivals. Decent volume of space beforehand. Cramped for two inside the back, though. Vauxhall Adam comfort levels are certainly not as good as those found from the Audi A1 or Mini hatch. The cabin is very well insulated, along with the ambience is ruined by the level of tire noise. Up front there is a good amount of space and both driver and front passenger seats are very well bolstered with decent side supports. If you or your front seat passenger is 6 foot plus, then adults sitting inside the rear will likely be cramped. The seating arrangement is more of a 2+2 as opposed to a conventional 4-seater. Note there's no central rear seatbelt. Adams fitted with 17 and 18-inch wheels also receive stiffer sports suspension, which mars the ride quality, making the limited Vauxhall feel frustratingly unsettled and bouncy. 5 very distinctive trim levels available. Unlimited spec offers widest variety of customization. Personalization could be the key, over 1 million combinations. 5 unique to Adam trim levels can be obtained, but there can be a host of personalization options, making the Vauxhall Extras list an exhausting watch. The trim levels are designed to attract different car buyers. Jam is made for fashionistas, Glam might be more about luxury, Slam could be the mildly sporty one, whereas S would be the hotter version. Plus there's unlimited for individuals that can't make up their minds. Standard Vauxhall Adam hatchback equipment. The entry-level Jams kit list includes 16-inch Titan triple cross alloy wheels, cruise control and daytime running lights. Inside you'll find aircon, a CD player, USB and Bluetooth connectivity, a leather-wrapped leader with audio controls and IMAX black cloth seats. Progress upper level to your Unlimited, the model that's designed primarily for personalization, as well as the primary difference compared using the Jam is that it has climate control rather than aircon. Glam will be the next rung inside the Adam ladder, with external differences towards the Jam restricted to 16-inch silver vintage alloys, a panoramic glass roof, chrome effect trims to your door handles, windows, surrounds and sills, and LEDs for your day running lamps and tail lights. Inside you'll also take advantage of climate control, DAB radio along with a blind for your glass roof. There's a sporty air for the Slam. It can do without the glass roof, though the all-metal one and also the door mirror caps also come in a contrasting color on the rest on the bodywork. The rear windows are darkened and also the alloys are upgraded to 17-inch Manuchin Hurricane design items. Plus there's firmer sports suspension. Once aboard you'll spot the superheroes upholstery and OnStar virtual concierge service. Topping the range may be the performance-oriented S, originally launched as Grand Slam but renamed quickly. Its wheels are 18-inch propeller alloys, with uprated brake calipers nestled to their rear, painted red for added visibility. There's an entire body kit, including a roof spoiler, that is painted within a contrasting color along while using rest in the roof. Inside, the S is compared to the Slam, together with the addition of some red flashes within the seat material and dashboard. Optional Vauxhall Adam hatchback accessories. There is often a very extensive options list about the Vauxhall Adam. Some from the more conventional options add a heated tire, automatically dimming rear view mirror, ambient lighting and interchangeable decor panels. Vauxhall's clever FlexFix bike carrier can also be available. The product is integrated into the auto's bumper, extracting when needed to hold a bike weighing as much as 30 kilograms, while one more clip will also be purchased, permitting a second bike of approximately 20 kilograms to become carried. 3 option packs are designed for each trim level: two-tone black or white pack, flamboyant twisted pack, or even the bold extreme pack. The black pack incorporates a black roof, exterior mirrors and rims, whilst the white pack provides same effect but also in white. Go for that twisted pack that boasts colorful exterior mirrors, grille bar, rims and interior decorating. This finish is green or red on Jams, brown or red on Glams and red on Slams. Not enough personalization? There can be a selection of 3 different decal packages: splat for the Jam, fly within the Glam, and stripes for your Slam. These can be applied towards the mirrors, side and rear in the car. You could add your own touch towards the interior, which has a choice of printed headliners, one among which, Starlight, is backlit by 64 LEDs, similar on the idea pioneered by Rolls-Royce but at the fraction on the cost. Of the other available designs, Sky is often a blue sky and white clouds design, Fly provides impression of falling autumn leaves, and Go incorporates a checkered flag print. 5-star rating from EuroNCAP. Raft of active safety kit available. Surprising not enough adaptive cruise control. This car will entice city drivers and, considering the chance of numerous urban pranks, buyers will need the Vauxhall Adam, safety levels being good. Standard kit includes an electric stability system featuring hill start assist, HAZ, and cruise control which has a speed limiter. There's fashionable comprehensive airbag system comprising of 2 front, a couple thorax and pelvis side bags plus a couple of curtain airbags. The Adam boasts advanced park assist too, just as one optional feature. Drivers engage the system using a button around the dashboard, and it also tells them once they reach a parking space big enough to accommodate your vehicle. The system then automatically steers them to the parking space, with the motorist only the need to control the brake, clutch and gears. As is par for that course with city cars, the Adam achieved a 4-star crash test rating when sampled with the experts at EuroNCAP. Rear seats have become small. Boot isn't especially large either. At least there's a lot of odds and end storage. This isn't a roomy hatchback, so Vauxhall Adam practicality is immediately limited. With just 2 adults inside the car, there is an abundance of head and legroom for him or her, but sit 2 more people inside the back and they're going to find the back space very cramped. The load space is small while using rear seats constantly in place, but it's going to swallow several soft bags for any weekend away. The door pockets are of any decent size, all of which will hold a 500 ml bottle of water, while you'll find enough cubbies for knickknacks and loose change. The Vauxhall Adam's electricity steering system also benefits from the dedicated city mode. At the flick of a switch, the steering becomes feather light, making the Adam incredibly very easy to park in tight, crowded town centers.